Welcome to QuickBooks Online Bank Feeds. This is Tracy Walker, and I am going to be showing you the number one mistake my clients make, and that is with not understanding how to connect your bank accounts, credit cards, and then making sure that they go into the system properly. So let's get started. Hopefully I can save you a little bit of time. First thing we'll go over is setting up the bank account, connecting to your bank or credit card, download transactions, add or match all the bank feeds, and then set up rules. Our home screen shows us to the top right the bank accounts that we have existing. We're going to go ahead and add a new one. We will first go to the gear on the top right and then select Chart of Accounts. The Chart of Accounts will open up to your existing checking accounts, but we want to go over to New. First thing that we want to fill out is the category type. And in this case, it's the bank account, but you can also notice this is where you'd add the credit card. The next step is the detail type. The drop down here shows obvious choices such as checking, money market, savings. And then we want to make sure that we fill in the name. In this case, it's Wells Fargo Checking. If you need more of a description, you can add that here and hit Save and Close. Back to the home page, we're going to move to the left under Transactions and select Banking. This is where you set up your bank and credit cards, and the most common items are to the bottom here, American Express, Wells Fargo. In this case, we've selected to use Wells Fargo, and make sure when you're actually filling this out, they're not asking for your QuickBooks, they're asking for your Wells Fargo login, and then hit Sign In. The main thing that you want to view is that it has selected the proper account. It will give you the last four digits and the balance. Once it has completed, it will give you a green check stating that everything is ready. This also gives you an option to review your transactions, and we'll go over that. So it organizes your transactions, and right here is where you can choose that I'm a pro and I can skip this because I know where everything should go, or you can select Let's Do It, and it will bring you through a setup screen where you will select the category and the vendor, or you can just skip it for now if you're not sure where that transaction should go. I'm going to go back to the home page now and select my Wells Fargo checking account. Up to the top left, here's your balance and how many transactions that you still have to input. That would be 16. The first one is a Chevron bill. Now this did not have a category set up for it yet, so I want to make sure we go in, open it up, and fill out the category because I want it to go to auto and fuel. Once we do that, we would simply click Add. This would add it to your register and take it out of all the 16 items. Now you can see once we move that out, we only have 15 items. The next one is a deposit. We received the money, and I want to go ahead and add the name because I want that to show up as one of my customers. So the drop down will allow you to add just the name, or you can do detail and hit Save. Now we can go ahead and select our add key. You see it's taken it down to 14 now, and I want to go over how to manage rules. That is, I have 15 Chevron bills that have actually come into my bank account. I don't want to have to enter them all separately. I want the bank to bring them in and it to create a rule. And the rule is up here under Update. So rules scans the downloaded transaction from the banks and the credit cards. And once you make a rule, it will go ahead and remember, such as if you have the Chevron bill, it's going to remember its auto and fuel. So it's one less keystroke for you. In fact, it's really cool. Okay, to the top right, we want to go ahead and hit New Rule. So in the new rule, it would be basically for your frequently occurring transactions, just like I said. So you could set up many different rules. So I will begin with giving the rule name something simple, Chevron. And then I want it to look for all money out and in all bank accounts. The next place I want to add Chevron is to the right when a transaction meets these conditions, basically has the name in it. And then at the very bottom, last thing, I want to categorize it. So one less thing I have to do, I may have to go through making the rule, but it will save a lot of time in the end, and it all goes into the proper place. Once we created a rule, you will notice at the middle category or match option that it has the rule set in here. You can always edit that rule if you need to, but it's already set my Chevron, so all I have to do is hit Add. There's also an option in here to exclude items. Say you wrote a check and you know it's in there, but it didn't match with anything, because if you do have a transaction that matches, it will tell you actually to the right here. But right now, if I want to exclude this transaction because I know that I've put this in, I can put a check mark on it, and it will create a folder at the top that's called Excluded Items. And these items here are, like I said, possibly I've already put them in, or I'm not sure what category, I don't want to put it in yet, I'll put it in manually. There are a lot of different accounts that you can hook up. You can actually go into the banks and get, I guess, up to 6 months of information downloaded at a time as well. So there are different ways that you can download, but this is definitely the most easy way. And I thank you again for watching. If you ever need any help, please give me a call. We can set up a webinar and I can be live with you on your system.